We're going to do this?
Let's walk.
Okay,
Let's
perfect.
Walk. I feel quite emotional because I've not walked for almost 4 months. That feels like a major moment.
It is.
Yeah. Hi and welcome back to some more recovery progress. It does feel like running and being active, and to be honest, just walking normally is a distant memory, but I think it's all starting to fall into place, and so hopefully I should be hitting some big milestones in this update. I am so excited for the next part. I know it's going to be tough and there's a lot of work for me to do, but to get back to a sense of normality will make it all worth it. Now, I've got to say, I've been blown away by the amount of support each video in this series has got. And it is so lovely to see the running channel community coming together and really boosting my mood when at times this has been really quite difficult. So thank you so much for commenting, liking, sending in messages and just being really supportive as a community. If you're not already subscribed, then go on, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and solidify your part in this wonderful community that we've built. We are close to 500,000 subscribers on the channel. And I guess the question is, what's gonna come first? 500,000 or my first 5K? We'll keep watching to find out. So today's a really exciting day and it feels like a really big milestone. I'm gonna be taking my first steps and full weight bearing for the first time in months. I'm not scared, I'm fearful of the pain, meaning that the surgery has not worked. So, you know, I'm looking forward to doing it because I know if this works, it's going to transform my day-to-day life a lot. But I'm just worried that significant pain means that I haven't moved on. But anyway, I'm positive. So let's do this. Let's walk. I'm desperate to walk.
Hey!
Hello, mates!
How are you?
One crutch.
Good work.
One crutch.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah. It's been all right. Like, I feel like I'm really looking forward to be able to walk again.
Yeah, I can imagine. I see a lot of people, you know, recovering from this type of surgery, and we've had a lot of comments on the videos about how did you get to this stage. So should we have a chat about, you know, how things progressed and
Yeah.
how we've got to the surgery?
Yeah, I'm not surprised because people are probably worrying, thinking I don't want to get to that just through running.
Yeah.
So I suppose what's key is that I had a hyperextension of my knee 18 years ago playing rugby, and that caused, I had some nerve damage and I had an operation on my knee then, and that put that knee more at risk of damage from running. And then I've had, you know, 15 years or so of running on that since then, where I have not been doing enough strength exercises on my leg to build it up. So I've been running, keeping really fit, keeping really healthy, but not doing the strength exercises, which are obviously really important. And then the third trigger for this has been lockdown. And that's what the surgeon told me, because I was always someone who ran very much on trails. I've always been a trail runner. Whatever races I've been doing have been a mixture of hard paths and trails. Lockdown has seen me for the first time in years start all my runs, like many of us, start all our runs from our front door. So I've been going out and I've been hitting pavements the whole way. That's been a change, and that is what is been the trigger for the chondroplasty and getting down to bone on bone.
The key thing to understand is that we have to look after ourselves, okay? So strength work is so crucial, and that's why we do it here at the Running Channel. And we really need to make sure we maintain our muscle strength. So we have changes on our muscles as we are starting to get into our later years. So what can happen is we can prevent the muscle reduction and the weakness in our muscles over the years as we get older. So those age-related changes, we can actually halt them. I always say to people, your strength and your health is like swimming upstream.
Yeah.
You keep moving your arms, you'll either stay in one place or hopefully you'll go upstream. If you do nothing, you'll go downstream. So remember that, guys.
I like that.
Yeah. Third thing, you highlighted was, yes, terrain is important. So running on different terrain is crucial. But I just want to challenge you on something. Do you think running on pavement and hard paths is bad for your knees?
I think I've been led to think that way.
I think we need to also have a think about that, because we know that something called the ground reaction force, so that's the force that comes from the ground, is definitely quite high when you're running on hard ground. But actually running on soft ground is extremely challenging for your joints. Do you know why? Because you're on an unstable surface. Your foot is moving and your muscles have to work harder to give you that stability.
But haven't I got more give?
There is an element, yes, of your joints having some support or softer surface, but your muscles and your joint stability, it's actually being challenged. So there's an element where we have to vary this. So we have to vary running on soft ground, but we also have to understand that completely on soft ground will challenge your joints. It's quite challenging and difficult for your joints.
But I think that's where I've been going wrong, mate, because I have just been running on hard ground now for a year, getting on for a year and a half. So I've not been varying it enough, and I'm sure there are loads of people who've not been varying it enough as well.
But I think the thing that's very unique with your situation is that you've had an initial trauma.
Yeah.
And then after that trauma, you've continued to play sport, but maybe without the additional support of,
definitely. Definitely.
The physio, the strength work, the conditioning.
And mate, that is something I'm definitely going to take forward in the future. I am going to be working on strengthening and conditioning.
Good.
I want to walk.
We're going to do this?
Let's walk.
Okay,
let's
perfect. Walk. You're here, you're ready?
Yeah.
Ready for the first few steps?
Time to put full weight through the leg.
Okay, cool. How are you feeling, first of all? You feeling excited?
So I've done all my exercises as far as the straight leg lifts, using the bands to build up the strength in the knee, and to try and get my quads activated again. But Manni, they are flickering. My quads are flickering because they've forgotten a little bit how to work.
That can happen, and that's why you're here, and that's why we're going to get you going and get you doing a few steps. Okay.
Yeah.
First things
first. Am I getting rid of this?
Yes, we will do. Not just yet. Not yet. Okay, first things first. Keep your hand in there.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I want your feet parallel. Okay. So in clinic, what we really like people to do is be really competent on two legs. Okay.
Yeah.
So all I want you to do is bend both those knees for me. Bend both those knees. Good. And come back up to the top.
That one's shaking.
Okay. And back up to the top. Yeah. Take it easy. Nice and slow. Okay. And slowly back down. Lovely. And back up to the top.
There's pain in the patella.
Okay, just take it nice and controlled. And pain level, how painful would you say it is? 10
5,
is really,
6,
really
it feels
painful.
like the area of the meniscal tear.
Okay. And slowly back up.
4, 5.
Okay. So what we need to do is also something called contralateral training. So if we train this leg, it can help educate your operated limb. Okay. So what we're going to do, you're going to stand on your right leg for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So what we want...
Because that one's good, it's fine.
Nice and strong. Okay, so we take the crutch away? Good man. Okay, so all I want you to do is something called a mini squat. All you're going to do is you're going to bend this knee for me. Yeah. Good, and back up. Good. So what we're trying to do, we're telling the mirror neurons in your brain, okay? We want this to happen on your operated limb, okay? So by doing it on the leg you haven't had an operation on, we're just giving it some education. Same again on your right side. Good, and back up.
Okay.
2 more. Good. Last one. Lovely. Okay. Back on both.
Yeah.
Same again. Just 3 more. Really nice and slowly, relaxed. Good, and back up. Well done. 2 more. And back up. Good.
Try to do this hand.
And relax. Good man. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Good. So, we need to walk without the crutch, don't we?
We do.
Because you have progressed and this is the time.
Because I've not walked for almost 4 months.
Okay, Rick, I think you've got this.
Yeah.
I think we really can do this walk without the crutch, okay?
Okay.
So, we're going to do some practice walks with the crutch and we're going to talk about your gait. So this is called gait re-education.
Sure.
So again, you're going to use the crutch on your right hand side.
Yeah.
The crutch comes forward along with your left heel. Good. So heel toe strike. Excellent. heel, toe, strike. Lovely. And stop there.
Yeah.
I'm really confident. I think you're looking good there with that gait. So shall we try without the crutch?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll take the crutch away. So just making sure you're using that right arm to bring you through. So your right arm comes through, left heel comes through. That's it. Nice. Gait education. There you go. Nice. Well done. Good. And just come through a little bit smoother, a little bit, that's it, a little bit more relaxed. Try and bend that left knee, softer with the left knee, good. Okay, and now nice and slow and controlled, I want you to turn to your left. So we're going to use that left leg to turn, that's it. So this can be sometimes difficult when somebody's had surgery. Good man, that's it, same again. That was really, really good. That's it, good. So left foot forward, excellent. Good man, well done. Got a little bit of a uphill here, which is good for you. That's it. So one thing we need to try and do is not to turn your left foot out towards me, okay? Keep it parallel.
I feel quite emotional.
Well, really well done.
It's like, that's...
I know, first time off the crutch.
Time off the crutch.
Really good.
It's only 10 metres, but...
So that's, you know, that's really good achievement. Really good. Back on the road to recovery. Here we go, Rick.
I mean, it hurts a bit, but...
That's okay. We'll just, as long as your pain stays within under 5, we really want to...
I look like I'm doing a rendition of the Beatles' Abbey Road, but...
We need the zebra crossing, don't we?
Yeah.
There we go. Rick is back. There you go.
I wish I could turn around quickly to acknowledge
Don't do that, Rick.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Okay, here you go. Crutch back. Well done. That was really, really good.
Thank
you. So the key principles there are heel strike, and then you want to just allow your foot to land and toe off, and try not to turn your foot away, okay? Because we don't want rotation in that lower part of your leg, okay?
Yeah.
That's really important. And when you're turning, just take small steps.
Mate, give me a hug. We're allowed to.
We're allowed to now. Well done, my man.
That was a moment. That was a real moment.
Feeling good?
God, yeah.
Good.
It feels so good to be able to... And it was just...
A few steps.
I keep thinking of kind of moonwalks, just a few small steps for Rick, but my God. just wow. It just feels really good. Feels really good. That feels like a major, major, major moment.
It is.
Today felt like a really big step, mate.
Yeah, that was great. Really good work. I'm really happy with that.
So we are now 8-9 weeks post-op. What should I be doing as far as getting myself up to getting enough steps in the day?
So we want to gradually increase your steps that you're doing, because we know that if you can walk pain-free, that will start to build towards increasing the amount of load we put through your legs, and that's crucial for us to start thinking about jumping and hopping. And once we start thinking about that, we can start planning how we get back to running, okay? So we want to, I think a good goal is 7,500 steps a day. Within the next 5 weeks, we want to be doing that without a crutch. How do you feel about that?
7,500 steps at this moment in time feels like a lot of steps.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
So I'm going from about 3,000 over the last 3 months. And that's just on, obviously that's on a crutch.
Yeah, but what we do know is that at this point, you're going to start feeling your muscles come back to life. You remember you talked about the flickering?
The flickering.
Yeah, so you'll start to feel that the muscles really start to ignite. And also, once you're getting to this later stage of recovery, you do get a really nice incline and increase in your
speeds up.
Yes, exactly.
So what about exercises?
So exercises, I think we need to work on bilateral. So we need to use both legs at the moment. And if we can add some weight, so you can hold some dumbbells, and we can do some squats, that will be brilliant. Once we've done that, we can start building you up to unilateral, using one leg, and doing some of the mini squats like we did earlier. Right. Those are going to be great to just isolate the muscles and really give you some stimulus in those legs, okay?
So I suppose the question people are asking me already is, when am I going to run again? When am I going to race again? Now, I have doubts about my ability to race again. People in the medical profession have told me that they've got doubts about my ability to race again. I'm going to give it a full go at doing everything I can, and I would love to, if I could, by
you know, mid-late summer, be able to get out again?
Yeah, I think we have to make sure we're criteria based and goal based. So we have to look at the goals we've talked about and make sure you reach those goals. You haven't invested heavily in strength work before, so we have to look at that.
I haven't fixed the foundations.
We have to look at the foundations, okay? Our health is built on some real fundamental things, and you know, we need to get your fundamentals.
I need to
back.
render the house.
You need to render the house, get the foundations right. You know,
yeah.
We need to do a bit of architectural design on your body, okay?
Yeah. I need to lose a bit of timber.
Well, listen, when you get muscle, you will put on some weight as well, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that we will have doubts about where you are now and how you progress, but the first thing we need to do is make sure you hit certain criteria, make sure you get some strength, and we need to just see how you progress over time. I would say end of the summer, it's a tentative goal, but I would probably be looking more towards October or November.
Yeah.
Simply because you have maybe never done any strength work, so it's going to be quite a new stimulus for your body. We need to make sure that you progress and you feel that your body's going in the right direction, and you can tolerate the challenges that we'll probably put you under.
Get myself in shape.
Operation Rick.
Yes.
Let's go.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. See you soon.